You're very bright. Your notifications, turn your dang notifications off, woman.
Sorry.
I guess it's better than before when it was tooting at us.
I gotta put my phone on silent.
Yes.
Sorry.
Can't say the same for your top there.
Nope, not silent. It's like my hair, not silent.
What is happening, everybody? Woo woo! It's Sunday. We got a lot of people in the chat already.
I know. Woo!
Numbers going up very quickly. Scooby dooby dooby da ba boo. I see lots of people in the chat.
We got some new people in the chat, new for the live chat. So welcome in. Candace, good to see you back. We had missed you. As you know, I sent her a message last night. She's such an active participant in our chat that her lack of presence the last few weeks was noticed. So we wanted to let you know that we
were concerned.
We wanted to make sure you were okay.
Okay. And speaking of people maybe here for the first time, or I'm not sure, Cool Casual Vibe says, hooray, finally made it to a live show. I think you've been in our chat for other live shows before, but anyway, glad to have you here.
Amanda, Clark West Trading.
There's another one that we haven't seen in a while.
We haven't seen her in forever either. Apparently, we have, we've had some attrition to our shows. People have lives. They don't watch every week. I don't know why.
I don't understand. I don't understand, everybody. Anyway, good to see all you guys. Happy to have you here. Anyway, it's Sunday live haul. It's also very windy here in Nevada, in Las Vegas. So I'm hoping that I haven't noticed any issues with internet up till now. Of course, now that I mention it, we'll probably have like a blackout or something like that.
Thanks.
Sorry. I like why is this saying that we're live in 5 minutes? Well, apparently people can see us because they're talking and whatnot. But I have our little screen on over here and it was like live in 5 minutes. Anyway, weird. Hey, there we are. Anyway, hello everybody. Our fun favorite show. You brought this awesome new little hoodie that you have that actually it looks even more bright orange on the screen than it even does in person, I think.
This is my Hunter Pinky Neon Orange. Yeah. I got this at a garage sale on Friday. I was with Corey. We went out garage sailing, and I bought something for myself because it's just like this big, huge, comfy, cozy shirt. I washed it yesterday, and you're welcome. Now you get this combination of orange and pink with my hair.
Yeah. So Lynn says the husband is here watching for the first time. Lynn, why would you do that to him?
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that?
I apologize in advance.
Did you warn him what he was in for?
Did you tie him down? I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not going anywhere for the next 3.5 hours. I hope you know.
All right. It's not that long. It is pretty long, but it's not that long.
I'm managing expectations because then when it's over in an hour and a half, he'll be like, oh, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse than that. That was moderately manageable.
Over promise and under deliver, or is it under promise and over deliver?
Well, I mean, for somebody who doesn't know what they're in for, anyway, you never know.
And Cheryl's in the chat.
She's gonna listen as she's driving home from the antique mall.
All right.
Cheryl, by the way, was super lucky. She got to go see some of our other stranger friends at an eBay upfront that they just had in Florida. So I think she saw I know she saw Casey and probably saw, I know Dana was there, right?
Dana, and I know Kathy Sherrill was there. And of course, the eBay employees, the regular suspects of eBay employees, but also Ryan and Allie Roots were there. So yeah, a lot of people in Tampa. So
yep. And Tommy Seattle, I did get my hair done. It's a rare occasion where it's actually cut nice and short. I like to wait at least a good couple 2-3 months to get it cut again.
She waits until it's like an overgrown bush. Looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Thanks,
so
guys.
when she wears a hat for 3 weeks straight and you never see her without the hat, she's like way overdue for a haircut.
But the thing is, I like wearing hats too. So
that's true. So Cheryl said they were lucky to see her. Absolutely, they were.
Yeah, you got it, Cheryl. Anyway,
so our Sunday live haul. So we keep it, our Sunday show in general, we have it in 3 segments.
Yes.
So we go over our numbers. We try to be very transparent with our sales numbers,
Indeed.
our cost of goods, and our shipping and fees and things like that. Just the basic fees to get a general idea of what we're selling things for. So we're not saying, oh, we have $100 million in sales and it cost us $999 million in fees and costs.
What kind of sales are you getting?
I don't know, not those. But anywho, we try to give you a general idea so that you know, like, we're not buying something for $5 and selling it for, you know, $7 and saying that we're doing fantastic. So we try to be real transparent about that. Also, so once we do that, then we show you our sales highlights, some of our fun or really good sales from the past week, and then we will show you our haul.
Yeah,
stuff we picked up in the last week.
Indeed. Apparently, Big Drift Thrift, Allison. True to the name Big Drift, it snowed a bunch, or it is snowing in Alaska, where apparently she's not in Hawaii anymore. I thought she'd moved to Hawaii, but apparently not. She went back.
She's back.
So she said she's going to go do some serious skiing.
All right.
Because she's got some fresh powder, guys. Fresh powder. That's what you need to do some good skiing. You need some fresh powder.
It was 70 degrees here yesterday, bright and sunny, and it's still bright and sunny. I think it's in the low 60s today or high 50s, but it's just really windy. It's like we get such wind in the desert. When it's really windy like this, it's not enjoyable to be outside because you got all kinds of dust and crap blowing all over your eyeballs. I
would also like to address the fact that Allison did refer to us as yahoos.
Well, you know, that's a given.
Yeah,
we kind of are.
That's true. I'm probably more of a yahoo than you are, but.
But
you know, kind of rubs
I can
off
be on
you.
occasion.
You get too close to me, and then you become just as Yahoo-ish as me.
It's true.
Very, very true. Anyway, yeah. So we've got some good numbers this week. One of us, a bit of an overachiever. I don't know if it was necessary. I don't know if you guys can guess. Okay. How about we do a little poll in the chat? If you think that Katy, myself, that I was the overachiever this week, type 1. If you think it was Vikki, type 2, and then we'll go into the sales. 1 for Katy, 2 for Vikki. See, you're number 2.
Just stop.
Just stop. Oh, we already see some 2s popping up. Yep.
I look guilty of being an overachiever. Lori says it's true. It's true. I have the 0. I can't do, like, people talk about having that face that can't hide anything. Yeah, that's me.
It's true. Usually it's more like this.
It's true. When I don't like something or if I don't like someone, it is so obvious. If you ever walk up to me in public and we're out somewhere and I make that kind of face at you,
she really does hate you.
I really don't like you.
Like, what?
It's true.
She's not faking the look of disgust. That is true, you guys. I don't know if that. Wow, you really.
Katie's the other way around, though. Katy, if you will walk up to Katy and try to talk to her, and if she doesn't like you, she just turns around and walks away. She's like that meme of Homer Simpson backing into the bush. That's Katy.
True.
She just turns around and walks away. She'll leave me stranded in a conversation with some moron that neither one of us want to talk to, but I'm too polite to walk away. But I'm still making the face. She just walks away.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so let's go ahead and share our screens. Looks like 2's got the overwhelming overwhelming vote. There were a few people that threw me a bone. But yes, number 2 is you would be right. So we're just going to go ahead and look at my sales first, which I actually had a pretty good week.
You did.
So here we go. Well, eBay, not so much, but I had 21 outgoing orders for eBay, 15 between Etsy and Grailed, for a total of 36 outgoing orders. My eBay gross sales, $1,181.46. Now, for anyone that follows our sales and stuff, that's pretty low for me. My goal is to try and get as close to 2,000 as I can with eBay, but there were a couple of days this week where my 7-day sales were like $750, which is pretty rough, especially when you consider I spent like $500 this week on new inventory. So
it was a little painful.
But Etsy and Grail together came and saved the day. So I got another $1,264.50. So my total gross sales were actually really good for this week. Pretty good. $2,445.96. My shipping, $173.13. My promotion fees between eBay and Etsy, $83.27. You can see how the fees come down there. And my cost of goods, $318. You know, I'm not talking about what I spent on inventory for the week, but just what I spent on what sold.
Those specific items.
Yes. So $318 roughly. So my total net sales, $1,615.98. My gross average sale price, $67.94, which is awesome. And my net average sale price, $44.89. So I'm actually pretty happy. Speaking of, eBay sales, man, every time I see numbers like this, I'm so glad that I decided to really, spread out to some other platforms because it made such a huge difference. My Etsy was over 750. My Grailed was right at about 500 with 5 orders on Grailed. I've been kind of sticking to like the $100 average sale price on Grailed. So it's pretty cool to see Grailed being so active right from the start, but I just started a few weeks ago. And so, so those numbers are pretty good. But you know what? They look real sad when you look at Vikki's right next to them. There you go.
I had a really good week. I'm not going to lie. It was a very good week. And this is the kind of week that we all strive for, right? So I had 45 eBay orders. I had 45 last week as well. And I had 8 orders between Etsy and Posh and Mercari. So I had 6 on Etsy, 1 on Posh and 1 on Mercari. So Posh was slow for me this week for a total of 53 orders. So my total eBay sales were just about $3,100 on eBay.
What?
Etsy, Posh, and
Mercari
all bundled in for $643.19. And my total $3,733 and change.
I like to keep her in check, you guys. I don't want her head to get too big, so I did tell her I see a lot of room for improvement there. I don't see why she couldn't have pushed that up to 4,000 this week. Yeah, but whatever.
Sorry. So my shipping was just about $360. I did have quite a few international sales, and they were pretty big. My promoted listing fees, again, I turned them back on eBay. I had kept them off for about 8 full days, so not too many. So that's between my promoted listing fees on eBay and $2 a day that I do on Posh. So $2 a day I do on Etsy, I should say. So it's $54. eBay final value fees, $295. Etsy and Posh, we're calling about the same. We all know Posh is a little bit higher, but Mercari's a little bit lower, so it kind of evens out by a couple bucks. So total fees, $767. My cost of goods, $327. My total net sales, $2639.73. Gross average sale price, which is fantastic, was $70, and my net is just about $50. So I'm pretty happy with that. Allison's asking, are you factoring the cost paid to your closet share photography assistant? Is it worth mentioning? I don't factor that in because not everybody uses assistants, and everyone is going to have a different market for that. So no, I've never factored in those costs in the figures that I'm showing you. Obviously, I have a myriad of costs that I'm not telling you, nor is it anyone's business what all of my costs are. This is a way for you to comparatively see what my business costs are for the products that I'm selling. And that's what we try to be transparent about. What all of my write-offs and costs may be, my storage unit fees, my cost of goods for shipping supplies, any of that stuff. It's really nobody's business except me and the IRS.
Why you gotta talk to Allison like that?
No, I'm saying that to anybody. And who I pay, what I pay my assistants here and there. It depends on the person. Everybody's going to have a different market that charge or cost for what they have or what services they pay for. Katy doesn't use any assistants. I do. I am down to just having just one person right now. And she literally just started last week. So
I do think it's fair to say that while you do pay for some help, the amount of money that you're investing in that is pretty small.
It's under $200 a week.
Yeah, compared to like if you were actually hiring somebody like a full-time employee, where so it's not like, because I do think it's valid to point it out, just because if somebody's like, look at these numbers, and then you find out, oh, they have a full-time person working for them. No wonder they're doing so much better than me. But I think the fact that you're able to kind of build up your business with that small of an amount of money per week.
Yeah, it's under $200 a week. It's always been under $200 a week. Some weeks it's nothing. Some weeks I don't have anyone.
Yeah.
So, and some weeks it's $40. So it really does depend on the week. But it's never over $200 a week. And I talk very freely about the fact that I do have a photography helper and stuff like that too. So
for sure. I would also like to give a shout out to Maria, who wants to know if I've ever done stand-up comedy. Maria, no, I have not. I have been a professional actor in the past when I worked.
Oh, here we go.
The people need to know this, okay?
The people demand.
The people demand to know that when I was, I think, 19 and 21, 22, I did work in Enchanted Forest at the theater at the top of the mountain, the top of the hill, where I did do musical comedy with other actors, and I was paid a good minimum wage. Okay.
She is a paid.
Was it my own
professional actor?
Was it my own material? No, it was not. But I had to channel characters through the instrument that is my body and my voice.
Well, the fact that you were paid minimum wage is more than some people that actually call themselves actors. So I suppose do you have an IMDb page? We need to know.
No, but comedy mic night. I thrive more when I'm being obnoxious in unexpected ways and times. Not once you put me on a stage, then I don't know that I would be able to deliver at the same level.
Boom. Same question as Deb, but did you have a SAG card, an IMDb page? No, she does not.
To be fair, I could just go make my own IMDb page because it's pretty much like it's kind of like the Wikipedia for actors.
It's true.
Anyway, and Allison wants to know if I've always been a thespian. Yes, always. When I was a little kid, I would do little dances to the radio. I'd hold my mom's cane and do little.
I don't think that's where she was going with that.
Well, same thing, same diff. Jeez, so discouraging in the way that you speak to me and Allison. Yeah, we know.
Yawn. All right.
So rude.
Let's get into our souls.
Anyway, little miss, I sold $1 bazillion this week. Ridiculous.
Listen, I had a lot of expenses this
Ridiculous.
week.
Oh, but you know what you should point out is that, like, so you actually, it was kind of an unusual week. Like, you definitely have amazing days, but you had 2 days. First, you had a day where you were like within what, like $30 of hitting $1,000 in one day on eBay or on eBay. Didn't do it. She failed that day, you guys. I was disappointed in her.
That was last Sunday.
I know you guys were too, but I was especially disappointed in her lack of achievement. But she made up for it the other day, and you were like $70 away with 45 minutes left in the day, and you pulled through, and you went over $1,000 in one day. So I think that's pretty cool. I just think that's worth mentioning because I think it's awesome. Anyway, so let's go ahead and
usually my weekend sales are about $1,000 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes around $1,200. My weekend sales so far are $1,800 between Friday, Saturday, and today. So it's definitely sales have picked up for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I have not been listing very consistently. Since before I went to Rhode Island, I've had very low sales because part of this transition of having this new helper is that person picked up all of my stuff last week to draft and list, and therefore I've only been listing my hard goods, which I haven't had that many of. So I haven't really gotten
you still have to figure out the rhythm.
Yeah, but next week will be fine. Next week we swap. Tomorrow, actually, we swap. She brings me back all the stuff she's already completed, and I give her more.
We'll get more into that on Wednesday's show. We were going to talk about it on last Wednesday's show, but then we ended up doing the seller update. So this Wednesday, unless something else happens, we will on Wednesday talk about scaling up, what that could look like, different ways of doing it. And we'll go into that on Wednesday, hopefully. So anyway, let's move on, and we'll look at our sales highlights for the week. Okay. And we're going to go ahead, and as usual, we're going to start with you. What you got here? What's this?
Did you share the screen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay. So this is, I always talk about old electronics. I picked this up. This has been a while. I've probably had this one. I think I picked up, there were like 15 or 20 I picked up one day. It's probably been a year, and I'm down to like the last couple. But I picked this one up for $5, and it sold for what you see there, $90.97. We did have someone mention on our video that a lot of times they watch the show. I mean, they listen to the show, but not watch the show. So when we say it sold for the price you see there, we should actually say the price as well.
Yes.
So that they don't have to guess. So I'm trying to do that. So I appreciate that feedback. $90.97 plus customer paid shipping. Again, they paid $6.95. I charge a flat shipping fee on smaller priority items now, which means I paid more than that, but they paid a little bit of the shipping.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so I have this one because I've been really enjoying finding these. They're kind of like, I call them t-shirt jerseys, because it's not really a jersey, but it's not just like a t-shirt. It's got like the whole V-neck thing going on. This is very like, this particular one, I think it actually says 1990 on it, but I find these like late 80s, early 90s, and I just really think the design is cool. I like the style. And so I always grab them when I see them, and I really like the little buffalo. He's really cute. Look at that cute little buffalo.
I don't find buffalo's cute.
You shut your mouth. Anyway, so this one I took an offer for $55, which I think is really good for considering it's a t-shirt. And but yeah, I always pick these up. I like this brand, Salem Sportswear. They seem to have really good designs in their t-shirts and stuff. But anyway, $55 was the offer that I accepted on this one.
So Britt wants to know, do I have a landline to test phones with? No, I do not have a landline. And basically, I'm not selling anything that looks beat to crap. That particular one looked like it was new. I'm very quick to be the first person to tell you maybe another one of those don't do as I say. Do as I say, not do as I do. But a lot of times if I don't have the ability to test something, but it looks like it's all in working order and there's no external damage or issues, I'm going to say that it's working, and I'm just going to list it as working. If it comes back that it's not for some reason, I'm happy to give a full refund, but it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
It's like selling CDs and cassettes and records. Do I listen to every single one? Hell no. But I do say it's guaranteed to play without a skip. If it happens to have a skip, then I give a refund.
Yep. All right. Here we go.
So this is one I picked up from yesterday's fits. I believe I paid $30 for this one. I know that I did pay up for it a little bit. It was either, I think it was 25 or 30. I'm going to go with 30 just to be on the safe side so I can be honest with you guys. But I think I paid $30 for it. If we went back and went to another video, I'm sure you could, confirm and tell me if you needed to.
Don't worry.
People do. But anyway, I took an offer for this. I sold it for $80. And I did pay, like I said, I paid $30 for it. So
not too shabby.
Not bad. I thought it was a really cool shirt. If it had been big enough, a couple months. A couple months. I got it before Christmas.
Very nice. All right, next one for me. I love me some NASA Space Shuttle.
This is why you had Discovery in your head?
No, it wasn't Discovery. I said Columbia when it was supposed to be Challenger. We're just talking about our trivia night where we got an answer wrong.
Britain's in the chat there, so
partially my fault, partially Victoria's fault for not listening to me. But I am the one to be technical about it, who gave the wrong answer for a trivia question. Anyway, this one, this Discovery flight.
Where we lost by 2 points, which was one answer.
Yes, it's true. This one, I love all the space travel, anything space travel, NASA kind of t-shirts I think are really, really cool. And so this one, I've had it for a few weeks, but I accepted an offer for $75, wanted to bring some cash money in, but not too bad, because this one, I mean, I think I paid like $20 tops for it, so I got $75 for it. I always know these are going to sell relatively quickly. They always do well. So because there was another one I sold just a couple weeks ago that was a different mission. Anyway, yeah, so don't ever pass up these or send them my way.
This one sold just last night, actually. This sold for what you see there, $139.97 plus buyer paid shipping. It's going to California. It's a very big and heavy item. So $14.95 for the shipping would actually have barely covered it going across the country. I think it would have been closer to about $25. But being that it's going to California, it'll probably be under $10 to ship, which is nice. I paid $10 for this at Savers maybe 2-3 months ago.
Not too shabby. That's
it's
awesome.
Cool. It's good for people that homeschool use this type of thing.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I like it. All right, next one for me. I don't even think I told you I sold this. I did not sell it for the price that's up there, Gaspy McGillicuddy. I did not sell it for that price. But I did price it really high. This is an Eddie Bauer.
The one thing she scooped from me at the estate sale about a month ago.
But it was literally the only thing that I could buy at that estate sale that fit into the kind of stuff that I sell. So so I grabbed this. It was $10. And then once I got it home and was able to research it, I was able to figure out that it was a 50s, one of these 50s blizzard-proof jackets that Eddie Bauer made back in the day. It's just a really...
I seriously did almost have a heart attack, Sandra.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's just a really cool, really cool jacket. These tags, I know. Anyway, so somebody had made me, I'd got some other offers. This person started out at 150. We went back and forth a few times. But seriously, guys, I had 2 days this week where I was literally at $750 for the past 7 days. So I did go back and forth probably like 4 or 5 times with this guy. And the last offer that he made was for $280. And I was just like, you know what? I spent $10 on it. I can get $280 right now, or I can scare the sale away and be down another like $300 in sales for the week. So I went ahead and accepted the offer. They paid up right away. I think it cost like another $30 just in taxes, but yeah, $280 out of a $10 item that's just from like what, with less than a month ago, right?
Yeah, less than a month.
This is just a really cool jacket. I think I could have maybe gotten another 100. I have it priced really high because there were some other very similar jackets that have gone for higher, but sometimes it's hard to tell. It's like
you got to find the absolute right buyer on that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, $280.
I think $280 out of 10 is
not too.
I don't know how you had it priced at 1,000 jeepers.
Well, I had it priced at 1,000 to be on sale at 700, because literally, if you go look at solds, there are ones that have sold for like $600-700. So,
I probably would have held out just because I'm a jerk like that.
Yeah.
So this is okay. If anybody sells ski suits, let me just tell you, you all know what a biatch they are to photograph.
Mm-hmm.
They're so difficult to get a halfway decent photo of these things.
It's like, oh yeah, that's gonna look real good.
Right. It's just terrible. You can't tell. It's terrible. So I'm always grateful when they sell it all, for crying out loud, right? Unless you have like you're taking your photo pointing down from a balcony and it's laying out on the floor and you're trying to do a flat lay from a second story. They're just terrible. They're just terrible to take pictures of. And they usually have so many different components that 12 photos are not good enough.
Right. And then like sharing the measurements.
Well, it's just a pain in the ass.
That's why, because I'm actually the one that found this one. I don't remember where we got it. It was a
Savers. It was a Savers.
When I saw this, I snagged it and immediately gave it to Victoria.
I paid $15 for it, but I took an offer for $110. And I was very happy to get this thing. It will be going out the door tomorrow. It sold Friday or Saturday, but
that was like maybe a month ago.
Yep.
It hasn't been.
I have not had it listed very long. As a matter of fact, it sat in my to be listed and to be photographed pile for at least a month before it was listed, to be honest with you, because Dana did not want to list it and I did not want to photograph it.
So it sold pretty quickly. All right, next one for me. Now, what's interesting about this jacket, so when I very first started reselling and doing clothing and stuff like that, I would always love when I would find jackets like this that have like the little Southwestern design going across it. But I learned relatively quickly that a lot of times they don't move very fast. They don't sell right away. And so when I saw this at yesterday's Fits, I bought a bunch of stuff, a couple weeks ago, and
that's really cute. I like that one. Your photo's good on that.
Yeah. And I actually did not grab this one. And then as we were going through like the stack of stuff I wanted to get, Jesse was like, you don't want to buy this one? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then he said $15. And I was like, fine.
He does that to me too.
I know, right? And I was like, fine.
I'll be like, nah, it's too much. He'd be like, oh, 10,
and it was kind of dirty. A lot of stuff that they buy, he doesn't launder stuff. And so it was a little dirty. It needed to be washed. And it was just kind of one of those things where I'm like, it's not really worth the effort. And so I got it for $15, brought it home. It really wasn't, all I had to do was spray some stuff on it, throw it in the wash, and it came out looking great. I listed it and it sold like in like a few days. And I'm like, what's happening? So I did end up selling this. Let's see what it sold for. And he knows that the Etsy is letting you see the whole sales page again. So that's nice.
Oh, good.
$69.99. So it didn't go into a sale because my sale's just about over now. But $70. I paid $15 for it and sold it for $70 in a matter of like a few days. And then so of course I sent like a screenshot to Jesse and I'm like, remember that jacket you forced me to buy? And he was like, you're welcome. So anyway, good sale.
So these, I picked these up at an estate sale, a big lot of American Airlines Hot Air Balloon Festival pins. There were 78 pins total. I had a couple of offers, as a matter of fact, from some watchers of the show, some people that were interested. And then when I told them I was, if I were to sell them outright, I was trying to go for about $175, $150 to $175. So they all passed. This may have sold to one of those people. I don't know what their screen name was. If they did, fantastic. I put them into auction just to see what they were going to go for. And they had multiple bids, as you can see, 26 bids. I think I started them at 29 or 39. I'm not sure. But they sold for $127.50. I paid $5.
Nice.
I'm totally fine with that.
Nice. Yeah. So Sandra says Western stuff is super popular. It is, but those jackets that just have like the minimal amount of Southwestern print, I just have found that a lot of times they take forever to sell. So I was actually pleasantly surprised when that sold so fast. Would you, if you could go back, would you have bought all the rest of the pins that were there?
Yes, now that I know, but they wanted like $20 and $30 for the rest of them.
Yeah.
They had more than 100 in them, but
you could have made an offer for all of them.
I probably could have, but that was not the last day when we saw them, or it was the last day when we went back. Anyway, I bought that box because they only wanted $5 for it. I knew there was money there, but I had no intention or desire to piece them out. So the person that bought them, they are a pin seller. I don't know if it was one of the pin sellers that contacted me. So I'm
yeah, you like went and looked, and
that's exactly what they sell.
They have 14,000 listings.
Right, and they sell all kinds of pins, anywhere from $8 to like $40 or what have you. So for that person, this is a perfect buy, even if they get only $8 a pin, which I think some of them are $15 and $20 each.
They do like
They're going to do very, very well. It's just not something.
Shipping.
Yeah, it's just not something I wanted to do to piece out. It's a great thing for that person that does it. That's their business.
Yeah, peace out, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is an Oakland Athletics, Oakland A's sweatshirt. I really like the whenever I find the Oakland A's stuff would have like the little elephant logo on them.
I know, it's really cute
logo, and he's just cute. And so I had picked this up.
Look at us. We're so sportsy. The elephant is so cute in their logo. That's why we bought it.
He is cute. No, I just know it's an older logo, and I tend to sell. They tend to sell really well. And so this one, I mean, I think I paid like $15-20 for it. I don't remember exactly if I got this from yesterday's fits, but I don't think I've had this one for very long. And I had sold a similar one a few months back, but this particular one, I don't think I had it up for too long, and it sold for not that price. It was 10% off, so it sold for $89.99. But I shipped it out. I sold it this week, shipped it out, and the buyer already left me 5-star feedback that said like something like well packaged and fast shipping, or in great condition, or something like that. But they were very, very, very happy with it. But $90, guys, like, you know, I see so many. I know I just sell t-shirts and sweatshirts and jackets and stuff like that. I see so many things where I'm like, man, that could sell for so much more. And people puts this kind of stuff up for like $25, $30. And it sells for more than that, guys. Don't undervalue the stuff that you have.
Exactly. All right. So a lot of people remember this shirt, including Candace. I know Candace is a huge Journey fan. She even sent me a picture of her tattoo. So I did pay up for this. I bought this from yesterday's fits. I paid $50, I think, for this one. And that's probably the most I've ever paid for a t-shirt.
Yeah, you were getting wild and crazy.
But I love this one. So I paid $50, and it has issues, and you can see what all the issues are. They're pretty accurately represented. I took an offer for $150.
Yeah.
And I've had it, you know, for a few months now. Right before Christmas, I grabbed this.
I find Journey stuff, and even, you know, a lot of the stuff, like the really cool old rocker tees, I find some of it sells for less than what you would expect after just talking about not undervaluing your stuff. Sometimes some of these old 80s rocker tees, like you think like they should go for way, way more. And Journey's one of those ones. I don't know if it's because like the band has changed so much over the years, and like
some Journey stuff goes really high because they're just they do have a rabid fan base from the Steve Perry days, especially. And this is one of those types of shirts. But I think the problem is that there are replicas of all of these things now. So the replicas that are being done, why does someone want to get a faded with holes in it?
Yeah,
when they can buy the same design for $12 from China. So that's That's the issue, I think. I think that, you know, not everybody has the wants to have the true vintage. And that's why I put true vintage in the title. I don't always put that, but because there are so many replicas, I needed to put that.
And I feel like more than ever, there are these accounts you'll go and I'll be looking at like these rare t-shirts, and it's like these international overseas sellers, and they just, I don't know if they're like printing them on demand, but it sucks because they'll have vintage in the title, but they will say reprint. Like they do disclose that it's a reprint, but it'll say, like, for instance, if it was this t-shirt, it'll say vintage 1981 Journey Escape Tour t-shirt, and then it'll say reprint Gildan or something like that.
Yeah.
And it floods the,
and they sell them for like $12 or $15. It's stupid.
I hate it.
They're not printing on demand. They have printing facilities.
I mean,
themselves.
what I mean is they're printing them. Like they're printing them
because all they're taking is they're copying the art, and it's just a crappy thing. Yeah.
It's obnoxious. Anyway, all right, next one for me. Guys, look at the majesty. Look at the utter majesty on this jacket. I don't remember where I got this one. I think it was like a Savers or something like that. And it wasn't like crazy expensive. I think I paid like maybe $20-25 for it. Or it might have been Buffalo Exchange. I don't remember exactly, but it was a few months ago. And it's one of those ones where I see lots of them that actually sell for a lot less. But when it comes to
hold out,
when it comes to a beautiful jacket like this, come on, guys, come on,
look at it.
Come on.
Look at it.
Yeah, if you don't price it higher, you don't love America.
I wouldn't be caught dead in it, but
but let me tell you, I was real happy when this sold, and let me just show you what it sold for. And I think it did sell at 10% off, so it'll be 10% off what this shows here. So it was $250, but with the 10% off sale, they paid $225, guys. $225. This jacket. It's a beauty. It is a beauty. Look at all that embroidery. Anyway, so yeah, that was like my big Etsy sale for the week, but I was really excited about it because it is just, look at that eagle. Just look at him.
It's beautiful.
Hold on. Let's look at him again. Let's look at him real close. What's up, man? How's it going? He's looking out for America. He loves America. Anyway,
I bet Mother Deal said, I bet a guy with a mullet bought that. Listen, I can totally picture that. Maybe a camo trucker hat and a mullet. Yep.
So Allison says that she has that exact jacket in her death pile. We'll get it listed. Come on.
Seriously. Apparently there's a demand.
Why aren't you being patriotic? Get it out there. Somebody needs it. All right, next one for you.
So
here we go again.
Yeah, this is the other one from the same lot that I purchased less than a month ago. I think they've been listed about 3 weeks now. I sold one of them last week, and this was the other one that was left over. And I sold this one. I took an offer for $275. I paid $2.50. So I turned $5 between the two into a total of $525.
See, guys. And she was like bitching and complaining because I got one thing from that sale and sold it for $280. And here she is. She made $525 on two little Nicky Knacks, pretty much. Yeah. So why don't you shut your yap? Shut your yap over there.
That was a good find. That was the best find I've had in a while.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I think anything you see like this with like these old boxes. I mean, sometimes you're totally like sadly.
All I saw was the one item. I didn't even see the boxes. There was one item I could see part of it, and I knew it was Bakelite. Yeah, and that was really it. Cool.
All right, next one for me. So this one was not a big sale. As you can see, I sold it for, well, you see the 35 is marked out and it says 39. That's because I have $8 shipping, and I think every week it goes down 10%. So I think it had gone down to $31 plus the $8 shipping. So the reason I put this up here is we had gone to that balloon sale, and the last day that we went there were a few sweatshirts left, and I wouldn't have probably bought this except for the fact that it was $1. But it's like, you know, it says the Great Reno Balloon Race on it. But the thing is it doesn't even have a date on it. Like, I knew because of the tag that it's from the 90s.
And everything else we purchased was from
everything
the 90s
else we purchased.
Dated.
But as far as like, you know, desirability, it's like there's nothing really fancy about it. It's got this tiny little embroidery on the corner, on the chest there. And so I was like, meh, but for $1, I'm like, whatever, I'll just get it.
It didn't even have the sweatshirt strings.
No. Doesn't really matter though.
I'm just noticing that there wasn't there.
But yeah, so I actually wasn't expecting much out of this. And it sold really fast, and it sold for $39, and that's with like a couple of people actually watching this listing. So it's just one of those things where it's like you never know, and sometimes you get something just as an afterthought, and you're like meh, and then you list it and it sells right away, and you're like what? So I was just happy about that little grailed sale for me. Next one for you.
This was an Etsy sale. I picked this up from that big bulk buy I'd made last month from our friend Jenna here in town. My average price on everything I purchased was under $4 an item. So this cost under $4. And it sold on Etsy
for
$169.95.
What?
Plus no shipping on this one. I'm sorry, I did free shipping. So $169.95.
What? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
And it's pretty dated. I mean, that's an 80s St. John. It's a nice 80s St. John. It's very well made. There was nothing wrong. Those it was dry cleaned in a dry cleaning bag and all that kind of stuff. So I had it listed less than a month. And maybe it was listed about 3 weeks actually. And it sold, for my full price. I didn't have a sale on that one.
That's awesome. So Rob wants to know, do Etsy listings get a lot of views for clothing? Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least for the stuff that we sell. I mean, I know that I get, with eBay, when somebody watches your item, you don't get notifications or anything, but with Etsy, you do, like when somebody favorites a listing, and I get notifications all day long of people favoriting, liking listings that I have on Etsy. So absolutely, people definitely,
they do, for sure.
Definitely.
It definitely takes a lot longer to sell. It really depends on what you have listed, Rob. Both on eBay and on Etsy, there are some quicker flips, and then there are long tail sales.
Yeah.
And for me, most of my vintage clothing, especially on Etsy, is long tail. But because I have so many items listed, I always have something long tail selling. So when you're trying to build up, if you have just Etsy, or if you have just vintage items, I think you can see it will probably take you longer to see a return on your listings.
That's very true. Etsy took a lot longer to build up and to start getting regular sales than like eBay does. But once you kind of get into a good rhythm, I feel like you get better quality sales, higher price points.
Higher price points for sure.
Better quality feedback. Everything is just, I don't know. I like it a lot. All right, next one for me. So my last ones are all grailed sales. So this is this cool UCLA 1987 kind of wool varsity jacket that I've had, not for very long. I got it like within the last month from yesterday's fits. And I probably paid like 40 for it, maybe 30, maybe 30. Anyway, I sold for the price there, $125. I don't know if you guys noticed this whole smart pricing thing. That's one of the things with Grailed is that
they actually have it on Macari now too.
Yeah, and so with Grailed, like the first month that you have something listed, you can bump it every week manually. But also anytime you have a price drop, it bumps your listing. And so I just went ahead and took advantage of the smart pricing. So I have, like you can see right there, my floor price was at $129. This was an offer I accepted, which is why it's lower than that. And that way just kind of does it automatically and I don't have to think about it. And then eventually I'll probably, like with old listings, just end them and start them all over again. But that just seems like the fastest, easiest way to get stuff just kind of listed and have it not be too hands-on constantly.
So Rob, it really does depend on what you sell. Katy only sells men's clothing, so she doesn't sell women's clothing at all. He says, have you ever noticed that women's clothes sell more frequently than men's clothes? It really does depend on what you're listing and where you're listing it.
Yeah.
And Grailed is only for men's, first of all. And Katy only sells men's clothing in general. I sell everything. I sell men's and women's. So I would say that as far as my clothing is, I'm at least 50-50 as far as my inventory and my sales.
Yeah. It's hard to say because
I don't know that you can, I think you will probably sell overall on eBay and Poshmark and things like that. I would say overall, you probably sell more women's clothing because there's more women's clothing out there. It's just like if you ever walk into a department store and you've got 3 aisles of men's clothing and you've got 47 aisles of women's clothing. Women have more clothing. They purchase more clothing. They create more clothing for women. So because there is, a plethora of women's clothing, I think that you're going to see that there's more women's clothing sold in general.
It's like you go to any thrift store and there's a little section for men and a giant section for women. Now I will say on Etsy, we're each on Etsy. I think we have a similar number of listings each on Etsy.
We have about 1,200 and change.
Mine's all men's and yours is a mixture of women's clothing and hard goods. And I definitely sell more on Etsy than you do. Of course, some of that might have to do with the advertising I pay for, and it's all hard to say. All right, next one for you. Speaking of balloons.
Speaking of hot air balloons, this was an Etsy sale as well. I purchased this at the same estate sale as Katy did.
It's a cool one.
A bunch of the jackets and stuff. This was my first clothing sale from there, but I paid $2 for it on the first day. And it sold on Etsy like the day after I listed it, maybe.
Yeah, it sold fast.
$80 plus they paid shipping. It went international. They paid $25 or so in shipping, and it cost me $17 and change. So yeah, I used pirate ship.
If you guys remember, we had basically grabbed a ton of vintage t-shirts and sweatshirts that first day, and then when we got home, we went through them and decided who got what. And this was one of the ones that Vikki snagged. But you just kind of see, like, I had that sweatshirt that I sold on Grailed for $39, and it was kind of boring. Now this is super awesome because it's like a full graphic on the front. It's got the Southwestern kind of themes to
it. Had like that puffy paint on it.
It's just a really, really cool, and you can just see like they both
felt like dead stock.
They both sold quickly, but this one sold for twice what mine sold for. Just a really cool sweatshirt. All right, last one for me, last one for all together for today. Billy Idol t-shirt. Now this t-shirt I got at the same time I got that David Bowie t-shirt that I sold, I think the week before. I got them both at Buffalo Exchange quite a while ago. I think I paid $50.
It's been a long time since you've been to Buffalo Exchange.
It has been. I paid $50 for that David Bowie t-shirt that I ended up selling for $198. Also on Grailed, I'd like to point out. So both these t-shirts have been listed on eBay and Etsy for months. Months. I'm not even just saying 6 months. It's been more than 6 months. Probably been like maybe 8 months. And put them both on Grailed within the past few weeks, and they both sold to different buyers. So this one, actually, the guy had asked me earlier in the week. He's like, "Hey, I really want to buy this shirt. Is there any way that you can hold it for me?" And I because of the conversation I had, I actually believed that he would come through and buy it. And so what I did is I ended it and I relisted it at a really high price, because you can't jack your prices up on Grailed. You have to price it from the beginning. So that's why it says 600. I originally had it listed, I think, for like 300. But anyway, so I sold it to him for $235. And so basically when he was ready to actually pay, he just sent me an offer and then he paid. But $235, I think I paid $40 for it. I paid $50 for the David Bowie and I ended up selling this one for more. It's just a really cool.
You didn't show the David Bowie sale, did you?
Yeah, I did. It was the one that was really worn and faded, and I had said I should have sold it to somebody a long time ago who wanted to pay $200 for it. But anyway, I sold that one for $198 and this one for $235. That's just a really, really cool t-shirt. But again, just shows different markets, you guys.
Different buyers.
Months and months and months. They were listed on those other sites. At any time, those buyers could have gone onto eBay or onto Etsy and bought that from me. Probably got them for even cheaper. I put it up on Grailed, and bam, sell them both within a week of each other, after only being up for a week or two to begin with. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, Sandra says she loves Grailed. I'm not interested in getting into yet another platform. I'm still trying to figure out Posh. Posh was crappy for me this week. I only had one sale. But I also didn't list a lot on there. So it is what it is. I've only gotten about 20, maybe 35 new listings on Posh this week. So, it's all, I've been relying more on the sharing part, which is what I pay someone to do. So
they all have their weird things about them, and Grailed drives me crazy because there is an offer button you push. You make an offer, and when I get the offer, it tells me this is going to the United States or this is going to another country. And the thing with Grailed, when you make an offer, it includes the shipping. So even if you charge for shipping, like let's say for this t-shirt, I'm going to charge $200 plus $25 international shipping. If they offer me $200 and I accept, that's all I get is $200. I don't get the shipping on top of that. It's kind of a weird thing. And I cannot tell you how many of these Grailed kids, instead of just pushing offer and giving me a number, just type $200 in like a message, and I have to say
$20, bro.
Well, no, they'll say whatever price is, but I'm like, I can't.
No, I'm saying it like one of the guys on Grailed.
Yeah, but I'm like
20, bruh.
Yeah, they say bruh. But I'm like, why? Like so I was probably like 5 times now I've had to message back and be like, please use the offer system because I don't know what country you're in. I need to know what it's going to cost me to ship it to you before I'm going to negotiate price with you. Anyway, that's my little spiel.
So Marie says the secret to posh is to have your closet sharing at least 3 times a day. Yeah, the entire closet. Yeah, I have a posh assistant. I am certainly not going to do that. I don't have enough time in my life to do that. But the only reason I'm on posh is because I was able to hire someone to do that. And with the amount of listings I have, that person cannot possibly share my entire closet 3 times a day. And bots are not legal. So, it all depends on how much time you want to invest. I'm not paying someone $100 a week to share a posh closet. I pay $30 a week, and she shares a couple of times a day, but not the entire closet, and not 3 times a day. My closet's too big.
Yeah.
So
my favorite grilled bro was there. I sold a t-shirt, and when I had gone back and forth with offers. We agreed on the price. The guy paid. And then 2 days later, when I went to go find it to ship it, I realized I'd sold it months before, like on eBay or something like that. And so I had to message him and cancel it. And his response to me was, bro, it was like, there were like 10 U's and like 7 H's. But it was like a funny, like legit, like he was just bummed. He was bummed that because he thought I was going to get this t-shirt. But I smoothed it over. I told him I was really, really sorry and offered to make him a deal on another shirt.
So Marie says she has a virtual assistant. Yeah. So I pay $120 a month. And they have 500 to 600. I have more items than that now. I have 750, and I will probably have about 1,200 within the next week or so. So I don't, maybe we can get a few more shares, but that's a good price that you're paying to have that many done. It's just not. Yeah. Not. You're right. It's too time consuming. That's why I'm not doing it. I don't even know how to share. Can I honestly tell you? I don't know how to share my own or anyone else's. I have no idea. Not even a clue. I've never done it once.
TMI.
I've only been on there for 5 weeks.
TMI. TMI.
I don't know.
Anyway, all right. So let's get into our haul. You actually have like a bunch of hard goods this week, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Real quick, let me just say to Krillin 876, give us a $2 super chat. Super chat. Is Posh the only site where you need 1-by-1 photos? I think that's the only one that requires it, right?
It's the only site that I believe that requires it, but every site you should be doing that on.
Yeah.
eBay is optimized for 1-by-1 photos as well. So every photo I have is done in that manner and goes out to every site.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's just it is the best, most optimized.
I believe it's required on Posh.
Yes, I think so too. So it just makes it easier for everybody as far as like in the future where you decide to cross post or taking on new platforms.
Rita's son is going to ask for a raise.
All right. Anyway, so you got lots of hard goods. Because you have been doing some recent scaling up or the beginnings of scaling up. You are needing to go out and source a lot more.
So I'm trying to source several times a week instead of 1 day a week. I'm trying to source, at least 2 or 3 days a week, and doing a little bit more sourcing on my own. And I am buying things for a lower dollar amount in some cases. I am buying items that I know I'm only going to sell for around $30, where I normally try not to do that.
Yeah.
Because I am trying to, if I'm going to have most of it handed off, then that it's worth it for me to sell in greater quantity at a lower price point in some cases.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a mixed bag right now. It's, but I'm being more selective in the hard goods, and I'm getting the hard goods because I'm doing all the hard goods and shoes. I'll photograph and list and all that stuff.
And then also the week before last, I didn't source at all really. And then this coming week, I'm not really going to source at all because we are going to be going away for a sourcing weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to source at all either.
Yeah. So I'm kind of saving my monies for
to hit it hard this weekend.
Hopefully we're going to be able to, we're going to Arizona. So hopefully we're going to be able to do some serious sourcing. So my buy this week from yesterday's fits, I went pretty hard and I got like a bunch of stuff. So I'm excited to share some of the highlights of that. But why don't you go ahead and start us off and show us what you got? Wait, we got like 200 people in the chat, and we've got like 45 thumbs up. and 2 angry people. Hey, if you guys could go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show, or give us a thumbs down if you're not. I don't know why you're still hanging around if you're not, but go ahead and give us.
Surely you have something better to do with your time.
Go ahead and give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. And let's go ahead and you got some cool stuff to share.
Sure. So first thing I picked up was Red Wing boots. So we all know, and these are kind of grungy. I haven't cleaned them at all or anything. I paid $5 at a garage sale, but these are the ones that are rated for electricians. So they're the steel toe with the special electrician variables, that kind of thing. I paid $5 at a garage sale. I can sell these even used once I clean them up a little bit for at least $150.
Nice.
So
that was awesome. Tommy in Seattle, no show next week. No, we should have a show. So here's the thing. Next Sunday is going to be the clock change. That's not daylight savings time, is it? Let's see. Which is which? I don't remember. Spring ahead. So the clock's going to change, and we're going to be having to check out of our hotel room that day. So we're probably going to do like an earlier show from the hotel room of stuff that we found. So just stay tuned. Pay attention.
We might do a Sunday morning instead of a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, probably something like that. So pay attention. If you're in the boss group, of course, we'll post in there. Otherwise, make sure that you have the little notifications bell checked so that it does let you know when we go live. If you want to hang out with us live, otherwise you can catch it later. But yes, we plan to still do a show. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be
and we'll be from the hotel room, yeah. So it'll have we can do all the same things
the road.
That we can do. Yeah. So
yeah,
not the no-tell motel. Ew. Have you met me, Sandra? Please. I don't stay below 4 stars.
Whatever. We're not going anywhere fancy, but we're not staying at a 4-star.
It's like 3.5 at least. It's not a.
It's like a $70, but it's a good deal. But anyway, we're not staying anywhere fancy. But I will say that when we were looking at Airbnbs first, and there was this really awesome. It was like a little trailer, but it was like a really cute little trailer, like out.
I am not renting your Airstream. Your Airstream wannabe for $75 a night. They're like, oh, you get the whole site thing to yourself. You think? It's about 20 square feet.
She was like, what is this? And I'm like, I'd stay there. And then I told her, I go, see, this is why I let you pick where. She's always like, I need your help figuring out where we're going to stay. And I'm like, no, you have the standards. But it actually was really cute. And it was like out in the field, whatever. It was just really tiny.
Yeah, I'm going to go stay in your creepy Airstream in the middle of the field.
It wasn't creepy at all.
For $75 a night.
I'm gonna find the picture of it and I'm gonna post it in the group in the link for this in the post for this page. And I'm gonna ask you guys, doesn't it look adorable? Because whatever, I'm just a little more adventurous than you are.
It looks like someone's gonna come and slaughter you on the reservation.
Not true. Not true. All right, go ahead.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so I picked this up. This is vintage. It's late 90s. I picked this up. It's basically the Star Wars version of Battleship, the electronic Battleship.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
I paid $5 at Goodwill for one. I'm shocked they didn't have it priced higher because they priced everything ridiculously.
It's complete.
It is complete. It's 100% complete. It's in good shape. It even has the instructions and all the little pegs and everything. Mm-hmm. I've seen several sell. They sell for like $75 or so.
Yeah, I think Sandra either just had a stroke or she just might have peed her pants. She's real excited about it.
I'm not sure what that was.
She's real excited about it. She needs it, she says. Anyway.
I paid $8 for this. This is a vintage gold, like it's a bust. It's made by Universal Statuary Company. They make a lot of things like this from the 60s and 70s. It's kind of very mid-century, not mid-century modern, just mid-century. And they make a lot of busts and bookends and vases and things like that.
Vases.
This one is just a gold, just a really pretty like Asian woman. So I listed this for, I think I listed it for about $100. It'll probably sell for like the $60 to $75 range.
Very, very cool.
But I like it that it was gold. You find them in different colors. It's the only one listed in gold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do have the blankets that I purchased in Rhode Island. So I didn't get these this week. I got them last week in Rhode Island. My mom actually managed to get to the post office and get these out to me. I don't know how. I had to email her a label because she didn't have the printer and couldn't figure out how to get onto her computer and couldn't figure out how to print it. I had to email the label to my dad. He managed to figure it out. I was, he's a computer engineer, so I wasn't too concerned about that. I was concerned about her being able to get the label onto said package that I had already packaged up and get it to the post office. But she managed.
Somehow.
I
was impressed.
So anyway, the only thing I bought in Rhode Island, I bought 2 blankets because of course I have to buy something too hard to take home.
Yep.
The bust is kind of a chalkware. I think it's more of a, it's not made out of chalkware, but it is a, God, the word just escapes me right now. But it's kind of like a chalkware.
Resin.
It's not resin. It's not hard. It's not hard enough to be resin. She's closer. Sandy is closer to what it actually is. Yeah, you are correct, Sandy. It's not resin. It's not chalkware. It's
wow.
I'm having a mind blank.
All right.
Yeah, plaster-ish. Yeah, it's light like that, and it's not ceramic. Anyway, so this blanket I picked up, it's vintage wool with the ribbon edge. It's Faribault.
Fancy.
Faribault is Faribault Mills in Milwaukee, I believe.
Doesn't it have a tag on it still?
It does have the tag on it still. It's 1960s. It still has the tag. There's no defects anywhere on it. It's full size. It's a really, really nice one. Excuse me, hiccups. I'm trying to find the tag so I can show you guys the tag. Anyway, I paid $8 for it. Plus, it cost me $10 to ship these home. So, you know, like $13. So I have it listed a little over $100.
All right. Fancy, fancy. Fancy, fancy.
So that was pretty cool. This is the other one I picked up in Rhode Island. This is just, if you don't know this name or this brand or this type of character, you should know it. This is Mary Engelbright. Mary Engelbright is just a style of an artist. I think that came out with, like, there's all kinds of books and doohickeys and mugs and all kinds of stuff and ornaments. Women love Mary Engelbright stuff. If you find it, pick it up, buy it, because you're going to sell it every single time. It's very, very highly collectible. So this is from the 90s. This also has the tag on it. It's a Christmas, Mary Engelbright, just a really bright one of those, you know, cotton throws. It was from 1997. I paid $5 for it plus the other $5 shipping. I'll probably sell this from anywhere from $75 to $100. Mary Engelbright has a huge following. Yeah, like Grandma Cheap Sheep says, it's a very popular. There's posters, there's mugs, there's little figurines, it's everything. Yeah. And they don't produce anything anymore. I believe it was mostly from the 90s. I haven't seen anything that's come out anytime new.
We always had it in our house when I was growing up.
Yeah. Yep. So I knew, and it's pretty distinctive. Once you figure out what it is, it's pretty easy to find it.
Yeah, for sure.
So this other thing, I picked this up at a garage sale. I went garage sailing on Friday with Corey. We had a good time. We filled the back of her.
I get to stay home and work.
Her SUV. I know. So I picked up a vintage beater lack. It's still made in the USA, but it's not made in Germany or West Germany. So a vintage beater lack blanket.
Oh, it's cute little Scotty dogs.
I paid about $5 to $7 for it. He gave me a pile of stuff for $10. He had originally asked $20 for the blanket. I was like, I'm not paying $20 for this blanket, dude. But I bought a bunch from this guy from his garage sale. But it's a little bit pilly, but it's clean. It's early, I would say probably 90s vintage.
How much will you sell it for?
It actually smells like detergent, so it's definitely clean.
How much will you sell it for?
I will sell it for probably $60 or so. He's like, yeah, you can get $30 for it on eBay or $40 for it on eBay. I was like,
so you're gonna pay 20 and then
Anyway, he kept comparing everything to prices he had looked up on eBay, because you all know that's like the kiss of death at a garage sale. I kept going, okay, yep, I still bought a bunch from him because he was absolutely wrong about most of the prices, but he clearly doesn't sell on eBay. Just thought he knew what he was talking about, or tried to sound like he knew what he was talking. He was very loud. He was one of those very loud, overcompensating. Listen to me, I know what I'm talking about, guys. But whatever, I bought it anyway.
So Empty Nesting 2 wants to know, besides the tag, is there any signs a sweatshirt is vintage? I know t-shirts have single stitching, but do sweatshirts? You know, honestly, sweatshirts do not have as clearly defined teachable tells of their age. I would say a lot of it has to do with the tag. I do think that the sweatshirts, I don't know if I have any up here, but the sweatshirts that tend to have like the rather than the seam that's on the shoulder, but the seam goes down this way. I tend to see that more in like 80s sweatshirts, but then 90s, it's all over the place. I can tell based on the construction, it's really, really hard to vocalize that
to be
and
definitive,
explain it, other than the tags that come on them. And it's very much has to do with, you know, a lot of times it's going to be made in the USA, but not always, but probably more often than not, the vintage ones are going to be made in the USA. And you'll see the similar like Fruit of the Loom tags that you see on t-shirts and stuff like that. But honestly, it's trial and error. You just got to kind of learn as you go.
And that's the kind of generic question too. Pacific 49 asked, do they run a little bit smaller? It really depends on the style. So in the 80s standard sweatshirts in the early 80s to mid 80s are going to run smaller than today's sizing.
Yeah.
Late 80s into 90s, they're actually going to be bigger than today's sizing because everything was oversized.
Yeah.
And worn oversized. So it's one of those, one of those nuances that you just need to learn. And it's really hard to explain.
What I tell people is, so here's one of the things you can do is, you know, when you can do research by looking on eBay, look at vintage, let's say vintage sweatshirts. Look for ones where they have dates on them. So it's not just them telling you that it's vintage, but something where it's an event. So like the, you know, a balloon race, something like that. And it says 95 or it says 88 and see, hopefully they're a good seller and they've got a close-up picture of the tag. Start looking at stuff like that. That's going to help you. You can sit at home, be on your computer and just look for the ones where they're dated on the actual shirt. And you know, for sure, it's not like a reprint. And look at the tags that go along with that. You're going to start to get a feel for what the vintage stuff looks like.
So grandma, weren't we all a little bit smaller in the 80s, girlfriend? Listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a couple more of the hard goods and then you can go, because I think I have more than you have to show this.
I have a little pile of stuff here.
I'm going to say that I picked this stuff up for $5, and clearly this was a person that was a collector and they're at their house, but I paid $5 for, this is that floss for like cross stitch and needlepoint and embroidery and stuff like that. So there's 3 of these cases and I'm going to sell them as a lot. I'm definitely not going to sell them individually, but I paid $5 for all of them and there are hundreds.
Nice.
And usually when I sell this type of stuff, I get somewhere around $60 to $75 for this, and I expect that's what I'll get this time. And like I said, I paid $5 and I'll sell them in the cases too. I don't mind. I don't need the cases for anything, but there's, you know, here's the floss and stuff like that. This person was a crafter at this garage sale. I also picked up some fantastic VCR DVD combos. I did not bring those upstairs to tell you about, but I paid $10 each. One of them sells for like $200. It's one of the really good ones.
Why don't I show a few things?
Yeah, your turn. You go.
I do have a decent sized stack. So speaking of sweatshirts.
Oh, I like this one a lot.
I actually really love this.
It doesn't happen often that she comes home with stuff and I'm like, oh, I really like it. Most of the time I'm like, whatever. It doesn't do anything for me.
So
some really cool stuff I like.
This one's from the 80s. Now I have mixed feelings about the short sleeve sweatshirt thing, just because sometimes it can be a little harder to list. But this is a short sleeve Paramount home video sweatshirt. But what I love, so first of all, this is one of those things where this particular one actually has the date on it. It has the copyright date on it. So this is from 1988. You can see right there. And so if you look at the back of it now, it says all the best video where all our name implies. So this is going to be, I haven't looked it up or anything, but this to me clearly
probably like a Blockbuster.
It's like probably like a local video rental place.
Yeah.
So like a Blockbuster, cool. Like a local one. Now, if you're our age,
that shirt is older than Rebecca. Shut up, Rebecca.
If you're our ages or older, maybe a little bit younger, but not by much, then your childhood was filled with going to the local video rental place with your friends. You know, Netflix came out in like the early 2000s, if I remember correctly, and streaming happened and everything. But when I was like in middle school, it was like you would go to get some horror movies at the video rental place, and it was all about
this was Friday night. And if God forbid you picked up that video rental thing that you were set on renting, and it was empty behind the case,
the best
like
thing
the
ever.
Agony of defeat.
The best thing ever was when Ditters, the little grocery store across the street from my house. I come from a small town of like 2,000 people. And, you know, Staten, the next town over, was only a couple miles away. But I could just, when Ditters got their own little video rental area in the front of the store, it was awesome because I got to go over there and they'd let me rent horror movies and stuff like that in middle school because they loved me. And yeah,
it's good memories with this one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, so this makes me really happy, and I hope I could see this being used in like a like as a costume
movie,
thing for a movie.
Prop, total.
Just, you know, yeah, I love it.
So yeah, I loved renting movies. We had cable in 1983 on my street, and my father was very much a techie kind of guy. Yeah. So as soon as anything new and electronic came out, we had it. So we had cable as things that came out. As soon as it hit our neighborhood, we were like the first house in the neighborhood. So I've had cable since '83. And you know, but we still used to go and rent movies all the time. And we had both a beta and a VHS, because the beta, if you talk to techies, the beta was a far superior version. It just never took off. So we had both until they stopped making beta tapes. And my father used to get really upset that we would go to rent movies and you couldn't get it in beta.
My friend Kinsey and I would go and we'd rent like 6 movies and be like, we're going to stay up all night. And she'd usually fall asleep first, but we'd watch horror movies. And then my friend Jenna, she lived across the street, and her stepdad for a while, he had like a whole collection. You know, like people would video tape movies onto blanks. And so he probably had like HBO and stuff like that. And so each tape would have like 3 movies on it. And he had like a book that you would go through, and it had all the movies listed. And it would tell you what tape number it was on. And it was mostly horror stuff. And so then we'd go and we'd look through it and go in the closet and pull out the tape. And it was the best.
There is a market for vintage shoes, Tommy. I do sell them. It does have to be the right kind of shoe. It depends on the type of shoe. I do sell vintage shoes when I find them.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So more t-shirts and more nerdy nostalgia is this Space Ghost Coast to Coast t-shirt. This is probably from like
that one's cool too.
The late 90s, early. Well, I don't know exactly when it was on. So this is Adult Swim Cartoon Network. I need to look it up and see like what the actual dates were. If it was like early 2000s, this is made in the USA, early 2000s or late. Actually, I think it's early 2000s. But anybody who was really into Space Ghost Coast to Coast, I love this show. I love the show back in the day when I used to watch it. It's super, super funny. This is something that Vikki would not be into at all.
No,
I was really happy.
I think the shirt's cool, but no, I never watched Adult Swim.
Oh,
not a single one of those things.
Yeah, well, this particular show was great because they would do like interviews with like famous people and musicians and actors and stuff like that. But it was really silly and goofy, and it was a cartoon at the same time and just dumb. But I picked this up at yesterday's Fits. I think I paid like
nerd alert
$15. Here's the thing. So Jesse yesterday's Fits, they've decided to do a totally different thing for their photographs. And so they had to like free up wall space upstairs. So when I got there, he was like, I need to get rid of a ton of stuff from this giant stack of items from our eBay store. I will give you really good prices on them. So I ended up getting a whole bunch of really, really cool stuff for even better prices than I usually get from him. And yeah, I got some awesome stuff.
I even got some stuff. Yeah, I dropped her off there and then went to pick her up, and she's like, come inside. I found some stuff for you.
Yep.
Like, darn
it. So this is, this is the Walt Disney dinosaur movie. And this is from 2000. So technically vintage now, guys. This is a really, really cool
I like
t-shirt.
The back of that one. Yeah. The back is cool.
Yeah.
The dinosaur eyeball.
It's got an awesome back. I haven't listed this one yet. I haven't had a chance to research it or anything.
That was actually a really good movie. I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, but I think this is just a really nice t-shirt. It's in really good condition. But it's from it's from 2000. Again, guys, like I always say, this is how you learn your tags. See this Delta tag. We know this t-shirt's from the year 2000. It's got the Delta tag. It says assembled in Honduras of U.S. components. You start to get to kind of have a feel of when the stuff's from. This one, I think I paid like $15, $20 for. I haven't looked it up. I imagine I can sell it for at least 60, if not more. This beauty right here, not a very exciting graphic or anything on it, but it's Double Team, which if anyone remembers is the movie that has, I think it's like Wesley Snipes and I can't remember who else. It's from like 1997, 98, 96. I don't remember. But it's just kind of like an action. I don't remember if it's like sci-fi at all, but again, I need to look it up. It's been forever. But again, no clue how much it'll sell for. I think I paid $15 for it. But I just like any of the movie t-shirts, stuff like that. Couple more t-shirts and then I'll pass it off to you. This, I've been talking about getting hockey stuff lately. I love this one. This is from 1991. This is the good old Wayne Gretzky.
Great Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky when he's the captain for the Kings. It's got a nice fade to it. This particular t-shirt's from 1991. I was saying earlier, I really like the tags, the t-shirts that are made by the Salem Sportswear. They tend to have good graphics on them, be really cool t-shirts. So again, I haven't looked this up, but I would imagine that like old Wayne Gretzky stuff probably does sell for quite a bit. I believe I paid $15-20 for this. Again, I don't look up stuff. Like I have a pretty good feel for what I think will be worth buying and reselling.
Same. Unless neither one of us do comps, really.
Yeah, I mean, she generally isn't going to spend $15-20 on a t-shirt. But there are certain things where I just know, like, yeah, this is worth paying $20 for because I can probably sell it for a minimum 50, 60. It's Wayne Gretzky. I don't know. Maybe this particular one I'll be able to sell for 100. Now, sometimes I'll look up stuff if I'm not sure and they want $50 for a t-shirt, then yeah, I'm probably going to like look it up and make sure there's some history of it selling for 150 or more. I was really excited. This one I paid a whole $5 for. He had a rack up at the front of the store that he was going to be getting rid of.
Is that the one I handed to you? I think that's the one I handed to you.
Probably.
So you like this one.
Yeah, this is a,
yeah.
You know how I feel about my...
It's like a Nike G. Yes, I did hand you that one.
You know how I feel about my Christian vintage stuff. So this is one of those live for Jesus, just do it, where they kind of the rip-off of something popular. Mm-hmm. So this is, just do it. And it's a cool single stitch t-shirt. I think it's got like a little hole in it. It doesn't really matter. Paid $5 for it. I should be able to sell this for at least 50. It's ridiculous. Love it. And then I'll show you one more here before I pass
think you've sold every single Christian t-shirt you've ever purchased fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, just this last week I sold a No Fear one that was kind of Christian related. I just sold it for $40. So yeah. So real quick, we always talk about like Tommy Hilfiger and how it's kind of not really so desirable anymore. This t-shirt right here, a couple of years back, $250. This t-shirt right here. Now I still should be able to sell it for. This is a made in USA 90s Hilfiger long sleeve t-shirt, ski t-shirt. I should still be able to sell it for maybe $80 to $100. But it definitely has fallen from back in its heyday when I could sell this for $250. Now I might sell it overseas, in which case I might get a good 100 for it. But I paid like I think I paid like 25 for it. I don't remember exactly, but it's just a really cool Tommy Hilfiger. Am I boring you?
Yes, frankly.
Am I making you tired?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You could have kept going. I picked these up at a garage sale. I think I probably will find some people in the chat that will recognize this. This is the art of Amy Brown. Amy Brown is a fairy artist. She's also done a lot of the art for Magic the Gathering, but she is a fairy artist specifically, draws a lot of fairy art. These are just art books. They're soft cover art books, but what's nice about them is that they're signed. I paid $2 a piece for them, and it's very hard to find her stuff signed. There's not a lot available. So yeah, I mean, I paid, like I said, $3. I think I said $2. I paid $3 a piece for them. I don't know what I'm going to price them at yet. I'll probably sell them together because they're two different books. But 75, 100, I don't really know. Yeah, tattoo artists actually do love these. I have a friend back home that is a tattoo artist that was obsessed with Amy Brown's stuff, and she would have loved these.
Very, very cool.
I picked this up for about $1 at a garage sale. I don't think it's going to be a big money maker. I just wanted to show it because I absolutely love vintage stuff.
So cute.
It is a vintage toy bag from it's like a cotton canvas type of bag that is printed. This is definitely from like the 40s, maybe early 50s.
It's really cute.
Super cute. It's got this little bottom, like wire bottom, and then the drawstring top. It's just got this little circusy looking thing. I just think it's so cute. I'm probably going to list it for about $75. I can't find anything like it. I just think it's adorable. And really for people that have, there are people that collect vintage toys, vintage dolls, have entire theme rooms dedicated to vintage toys and things like that. I just think that this is something I've never seen it in all my years of selling. vintage stuff. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's adorable.
Very cute.
The other thing I picked up, I got these at Savers, and they didn't price them too high, which was pretty funny. They only priced them at $7.99. So anybody remember these? Z-Coil.
Ridiculous.
They still sell them. Z-Coil shoes. They were kind of like Skechers as far as that takeoff on these orthopedic shoes that are supposed to be great for your arches and running and exercise and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I paid $7.99. I think I have these listed for about $75 to $100.
Now, if I wear those, will I be able to jump 20 feet in the air?
I don't know. I think they're ridiculous. I've never seen these in the wild before. And like Grandma, I've never found anything like this. But yeah.
Ridiculous. So Barbara says that she had that toy bag when she was a kid and it was her mom's.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So see, then there you go. From the 30s or so. That sounds about right. Yeah. I've got two more things, hard goods that I'll show you, and then Katy can go again, and then the rest I have is clothing. I didn't think I had this much stuff, but we've been talking for a while.
You have a lot of stuff.
So this I paid $5 for at a garage sale. Mr. Christmas. I always buy Mr. Christmas stuff. It's new in the box. I paid $5. Some people underpriced these. The last one I bought was used in the box, and it sold for $70. So I'll probably sell it for about that. I'll price it high and leave it. If it doesn't sell till next fall or next Christmas season, I don't care.
I don't care.
This is the other one. This is new in box. Also, Mr. Christmas. This is Christmas in Bethlehem. This is new in the box. This is vintage as well. I did pay up for this one. I paid about $25, but this one will sell for $100 plus shipping.
And it's enormous. Jeez.
It is enormous, and I will charge every bit of shipping on that.
Yeah. By the way, Sandy says that she saw someone wearing Z-Coils last week. So apparently there are people,
who the heck wears
there are
them?
people here in Vegas. I guess that shouldn't surprise me if they're going to be anywhere. They're here in Vegas wearing their Z-Coils. Maybe they were wearing them and then they immediately donated them to wherever it was that you bought yours. And those are them right there. You never know. All right, my turn.
Yes.
All right. Hold your horses. Hold your horses.
You know that this had horses. That's pretty funny.
Actually, I didn't.
I have to show this out while you're getting your
Go
stuff.
ahead.
So I got this at yesterday's Fits. I think yesterday's Fits or Salvation
No.
Army. I don't know. It all ran out.
Me.
Oh, this was a garage sale. This was a garage sale. So I paid about $2 for this at a garage sale. Just a vintage Coach's jacket with Mike, but it had a cool patch on the back. Equestrian something corral.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People are crazy. Someone's gonna buy
I paid a
that
couple
up.
bucks for it. So
Yeah. So the Mr. Christmas, are you gonna put that, especially that big one?
oh yeah, it's definitely gonna go in another box. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only time I don't put it in another box is if the exterior box has damage or if it's super sturdy. That's not super sturdy. That's like that thin cardboardy stuff.
Yeah.
It has all the styrofoam inside. It's perfectly fine to ship it just like that in another box.
So for anybody who's never heard of Mr. Christmas like me, of course, I don't really buy hard goods at all. Just to give you an idea. So Lori says every Mr. Christmas item I've ever had sold for over $100.
It's true.
Candace,
I priced them real high. And I have the other one that I picked up that I did not bring upstairs is the Mr. Christmas marching band.
So Candace says that she sold a pre-owned Mr. Christmas carousel a few weeks ago for $150. And then Lori again says that she sold a Mr. Christmas new in box marching band for $250. So, and yours is not new in the box. So
no, that's why I didn't bring it up. It's all over the place. But yeah, I picked up that one as well from the same garage sale.
That's really cool. So speaking of those jersey / t-shirts like that, what was it? Colorado Buffaloes one that I sold this last week. I picked this one up. And this one's like in brand new condition. The Seattle Seahawks, just awesome colors on it. Just really cool. And a lot of these ones, the brand is, I think the other one, the brand was Salem Sportswear, but this Garin, I don't know how to pronounce it, Garin brand. I tend to see that tag on stuff that's like late 80s. But this could be like early 90s as well. But just in really great condition. Single stitch, fan, freaking tastic. But I think I paid like $20 for this, but I'll definitely be able to sell this for 60, maybe up to 100. This is just a really cool. I love this particular one because it's just the color is so good on it. But yeah, being a professional sports team instead of college, I think I'll be able to get a little bit more money out of this because there are some rabid Seahawks fans out there, including Lorna, who was in the chat. I don't know if she still is. I also really love this kind of.
Ding, ding, there she is.
See, she's excited. I also really like picking up the stuff that, what do they call it? Like when it's co-branded, or I always forget the word for it. But anyway, speaking of all the
co-branded is
hockey
good.
stuff I like to pick up. I really like the stuff that's got Snoopy from Peanuts on them. So this is Detroit Red Wings. There's a little bit of, wear to this t-shirt, but not much. It's in really nice condition. And this particular one actually has, the thing about any Peanut stuff is they always have like the original copyright dates on them. So this says like 1958 and 1971. This t-shirt's not from 1958. It's not from 1971. So be careful when it comes to the Peanut stuff. But this actually does have the NHL date on it as well. And that is the correct date there. It says 1988. So this is just a really cool Detroit Red Wings t-shirt. Collaboration, if you will, with Snoopy. And look how cute he is. Little Snoopster. Now I'm actually showing this t-shirt.
Snoop, you said that funny.
A little Snoopster. I'm actually showing this t-shirt because I'm curious if somebody out there watching will be able to give a little insight into what they're talking about on this t-shirt. This is a really cool, it feels like it might almost be dead stock. It's on the Screen Stars tag.
It's crispy,
but it's a really cool UNLV Rebels t-shirt. And so the front of it says, how does the NCAA think? And it's got all these dudes in suits with their heads up their asses, apparently. And then on the back, it says, if you can't see the best, UNLV, why watch the rest? Now, I don't know.
Did they not show them on TV or something?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, was it a matter of like they weren't getting airtime? Like maybe their games weren't being played, weren't being chosen to play on TV?
Yeah, that's dead stuff.
Because I'm assuming that, the NCAA might have had, I'm sure that they have some hand in like deciding what stuff gets broadcast or doesn't get broadcast. But it's just kind of a funny t-shirt. It doesn't say anything like about any particular sport, so I don't know. But just, I think it's fun. Are you telling me to hurry up?
No, I was telling you keep going. It's almost 3:30, so.
Okay, you guys, we're done. Bye.
I'm gonna punch her.
They can leave anytime they want. Get out of here.
They do.
Get out. I know. We got like 200 people here still. Anyway, fantastic.
Oh, I love this one too.
Racing jacket right here. This is another one I picked up. This is part of the ones I got for super cheap because they're trying to make some space. But this is just a great, I'd say probably 70s, early 80s. The reason I say that's because it's got the ring metal pull for the zipper. And I love
that. I would say that's 70s.
But it's really cool with the checkered, and then the back of it has the Coca-Cola patch on it as well. But this is just like an awesome
You're right, Candace.
jacket.
It is tiny. That is a men's small for sure.
Yeah, this jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had a tag, but it doesn't. But yeah, I don't remember what the measurements are, but this is definitely a really small jacket. But I love it. I love these old 70s racing jackets anyway, but this particular one, because it's got the red, it's got the checkerboard, the checked print on it. It's just really, really, really cool.
Kelly asked, was UNLV sanctioned for recruiting violations then? Who the hell knows? That's a sportsing thing.
I love it. That
might be a good frame to go reference that, research that before you list it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Kelly. Now, there were a couple of things that Vikki was jealous of that I was able to score from the pile of stuff that they were trying to get rid of.
You did get some good stuff this week. I have to admit. Usually I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, she's like, cool, more t-shirts, great.
Yeah, well, freaking exciting.
But one thing that we always are jealous of when the other one finds it is anything Pendleton, guys. And look at this. You know how I feel about cardigans. Like, I actually really like it when I find any vintage cardigans, but this is a really cool vintage Pendleton cardigan. It's got the really awesome design on it. I don't know what this particular pattern is. It's definitely like
it looks like a Chief Joseph pattern.
Yeah, it's just this is in fantastic condition, 100% wool.
If Allison's still watching, Allison, pipe in because you know the patterns even
you're really
better than I do. You're really good with Pendleton.
And this particular one,
I had a Poshmark sale.
Ooh,
for $65.
Ooh, so this particular one,
full price sale
is. Are you done?
Yeah, sorry.
It says high grade Western wear. I mean, it doesn't look particular Western, but it was in their line of high grade Western wear. And so I'm going to guess this is probably from the 70s. Because the thing is with this particular tag, because people will look up on that, what's that website called that has all the tags?
Vintage Fashion Guild.
They'll look on that and they'll be like, oh, that tag's from the 60s because I saw they had a jacket on there that was from the 60s. It's like, yeah, but this tag was in the 60s and the 70s. And so just looking at it doesn't necessarily tell you that's what it is. But it's definitely either mid 60s up through the 70s. I think this particular one, because it's the high grade Western wear, probably.
It's really cool.
Yeah, but super, super cool. I think I paid like $20 for it because I was getting some great prices from him.
Yes, this was from yesterday's Fits, not Savers.
Yeah. Pretty much nothing of mine.
Kelly's hubby said UNLV coaches were in a gambling scandal around that time, so check that.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So we're thinking either recruiting
or gambling scandal.
Gambling. All right, I'll look it up. Very cool. Very, very cool. Anyway, I love old cardigans like that. So I've got a handful of things left here.
Me too.
Real quick, look at this fantastic denim Guess vest right here.
That looks like something that somebody in the Warriors would have worn, or maybe the Outsiders.
Yep. Pretty awesome. Love it. I think I paid like $15 for it. I don't know how much this will sell for, but what would you sell this for?
Probably 75.
Okay. 15 and a 75. Let's say that, but it's fantastic. It's really cool. It's the I don't know, how do you pronounce his name?
It's George Marciano.
George Marciano. It's a size small. They cut part of the tag out, but you can tell on the very tippy toppy of the, like that crosshatch.
Yeah, they had a checkerboard Guess tag.
It's like a anyway. So you can tell that. All right, go ahead. I have a few jackets left that I'm going to save for the very last.
Okay, so I have this fantastic vintage sweater that has these like Angora fur arms and big padded shoulders. This is like the epitome of 80s like dynasty. Man, I paid $5.99 for it. I'll probably list it for about $75. It's even glittery. Like it feels gross, honestly. So much vintage clothing I would not want on my skin.
Ridiculous.
Look at these sleeves, first of all. Look at how skinny these sleeves are. I would say this might be dead stock. I don't know how do you even get yourself in these? Whatever. Anyway,
I have to get a running start.
You have to like dive into the sleeve. So when I bought this from yesterday's Fits, it was pretty dirty. I paid $15 for this. I think I can get about $150 for it. It's a vintage starter. It's in really good shape.
It was pretty dirty, but you washed it.
I cleaned it. I did some cleaning of the parts. There's got a couple teeny tiny spots right here on the white, but nothing bad.
She couldn't figure out like why I didn't get it, and I'm telling you, there was so much stuff they were trying to get rid of. I could not buy it all, so I just chose not to get that because I'm like, I don't really want to have to deal with washing it. I was worried about the red bleeding when I did wash it, and it actually ended up not bleeding at all. So you definitely scored.
I did buy this. This I paid $20 for from yesterday's Fits. It's missing a button, and the buttons are pretty distinctive, so I'm a little bit unsure of how this is going to sell. But this is vintage Adidas. This is from when Adidas was first made in Germany. So this is like the 70s. This is a 70s tag.
Yeah, it says it's like West Germany.
West Germany. It's very military looking. It has like this little patch right here.
It also looks
very tiny. It's very tiny. It's something someone could wear now for sure.
That's what I think.
It's not dated looking.
No.
But styles come around. Styles come back around. So it's got this little patch right here that looks very military-ish. Plus it's that military, green, olive green, drab green. But
it's women's. It's really cute.
It's kind of very cool. So it's tiny. I don't know what I'm going to list it at, to be honest with you. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it, but it's tiny.
The thing is with the buttons, though, is that they're distinctive, but they don't have like Adidas on them. So they're
Someone could replace the buttons if they wanted to. It would be harder because they're all green, but they're not a super weird button or anything. It's just it's not one that I'm going to spend 2 days trying to find to replace it. So this jacket I picked up. Where did I pick this up? A garage sale. So again, I paid about $3. I bought a whole stack.
Outrageous.
I bought a whole stack of stuff for $20. So on average, I paid about $3 an item.
And speaking of knowing other local resellers, networking, how did you find out about this sale?
This is from Barry. So I was out garage sailing on Friday, and Barry, as per usual, is a good buddy. So he will send me a message if he's out somewhere where they have things that he thinks I will like.
Yeah.
Because he was out garage sailing as well. He sent me a message and he's like, listen, there are 2 garage sales. He sent me the addresses. You need to go by. One of them is this huge reseller that was selling off a ton of clothing, but they also had some hard goods. But he got a lot of the good clothing. I think there was some good stuff left, but honestly, he got so much. He was still there when we got there, and he had 2 IKEA bags full of clothing. They gave a great deal. And then there was another one that had a lot of vintage stuff. So
it's Afro Vintage on Instagram, by the way.
So this was from that sale. This is just a vintage Copenhagen rodeo, like a faded black denim bomber.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's really cool. I think I can get it's got a little condition issues because of the fading.
It's a nice
stuff,
fade. It's a nice fade. It's all over.
I think I can still get about $100 for it.
It's really, really cool.
And then the other one I picked up, and this is the last thing that I'm going to show you guys that I picked up, same sale. This is ridiculous. This one is ridiculous. I have to say, it's got a couple of condition issues as well. There's lots of suede patches, and everywhere the suede is a little bit dirty. I did try to clean it and brush it as much as I could, but I think the pattern's going to sell it anyway. I have no idea what I'm going to price this at yet, but it's Santa Fe Creations. Look at this jacket.
What?
It's suede, it's blanket, it's fringed, it's puffy shoulders. It's freaking ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's in multicolors. It's got the Southwestern thing. It's got, I don't even know. I
think it's having an identity crisis is what I think. It's a little ridiculous.
It's really, it's kind of silly. But it's a great jacket. It's suede, it's wool, it's got blanket patches on it. It's crazy. But I paid like $3. So when I walked up with my pile of stuff and this lady's like, $20 for everything. Is that good? I was like, yes, I would have paid 20 for this jacket alone.
I'm gonna give you 100.
I would have paid 20 for the jacket. So
that's crazy.
Anyway, that's just some of the stuff I sourced this week, but those are the highlights, I think.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end here with just a handful of jackets. When I got there, Jesse had this giant pile of stuff and he was like, go through this. I need to get rid of all of it. And he's like, I don't know if you're going to want any of it. And there were a bunch of leather jackets in there. And I was setting aside the stuff I was going to ask him about. And I'm like, I don't know. He's probably going to, when it comes to like a really good leather jacket, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to go low enough for it to be worth it for me to buy, or that I'm going to want to buy it to put out this much money. And I think I paid $25 for each of these jackets. And I was like, heck yeah, I'll pay that much for them. So this first one, it's a type A2 flight jacket. It says right on it, Air Force, US Army. This is just a really cool, like classic bomber.
Vintage bomber.
Vintage bomber flight jacket. It's just really, really cool. I don't know. What would you, just looking at it, what would you think the date is? I mean, it's the number size 44. I don't know.
80s.
It's at least 80s.
80s.
Just a really cool vintage bomber. It did have like a bunch of pilling on the ribbing, but sweater shaver, I was able to get that right off. And that's kind of one of those things that's I've said it before, but using a sweater shaver on pilling is, oh my, we're getting crazy.
Candace wants to know how big it is. And I'm going to say, Candace, I think it's a women's jacket. This is a women's jacket.
Yeah, it is.
This is at least, I would say it's a women's extra large.
Yeah, it is fancy.
There's no tags on it. It's an extra large. If I can cover it across my boobs, it's an extra large.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, it's using a sweater shaver on stuff like the ribbing, because it was just really, it had like a lot of pilling. But otherwise, the leather is in fantastic condition. So I was able to clean that up. It's going to look great. I mean, easily, this is $150, $200 jacket right here. Just a really,
200, sure.
Really, really cool. I don't know what the type A2. I'm used to like the MA1 bomber jackets, but I don't know what the type A2 is exactly, but I'll be looking that up. Next up is, and I haven't looked up this brand, but this is like another one of those like flight jackets. It's like a pilot jacket. You can see it's got like the little patch right here, and then it's got the things on top. But this is I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Perone Aviation Apparel, made in the USA?
Perone.
Is it Perone? It's not. I don't know.
Would be silent.
Okay, whatever.
Like Ava Perone. Perone.
Gotcha. Aviation apparel, and this says made in the USA. I would say it's. So what do you think about the size? It says LS. Do you think that's short? That means short? Because definitely based on the measurements, it's a large, but it's LS.
Might be short.
So that's all I can think. But it's in really, really nice condition. I haven't looked it up at all. Again, I think I paid like 20, 25 bucks tops.
It's got, I mean, it's definitely military something.
Yeah. Just like a ridiculous jacket. No idea how much I'm going to be selling this for because, again, I haven't looked it up or anything. I don't know anything about that brand. But it's a fantastic jacket.
Vintage IOU bomber leather, good price point, good shape. That's probably like a $125 jacket, I would say, on an IOU.
Yeah,
that's what I would put it at without seeing it.
So this one, not too exciting. It's just a Fox Sports NFL leather jacket. However, this particular one is made with lambskin, so it's that really, really soft. Like feel it. It's that really
like butter.
That really soft leather, and so it feels super nice. So I don't know what these ones sell for right now, but I mean, minimum I'm gonna be able to get like 100 to 150 for it because it is lambskin leather. But this is really, really nice. This is going to be from the 90s, based on that whole Fox Sports thing. And then the last leather one, I have one more jacket after this last leather one, but I think you were a tiny bit jealous.
I was a little bit. I don't know why. Just because, again, this is for nostalgia reasons. I don't know that it's.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool.
So this is a Melrose Place jacket. Now this is a really nice, heavy leather jacket. So
is it Michael Hogan?
It's not. It's like sorry, let me pull this down. It's
Unique Denim. Yeah, that's a good brand.
So because it's this really nice, expensive leather jacket, you pretty much guarantee this was not like something that you go to the store and buy your Melrose Place merchandise. This is going to be like a crew jacket.
Staff or crew,
yeah. This is going to be something that the crew got, and it's so you can see. Get it up
it's
there.
just embroidered.
Yeah, Melrose Place. So this is just really cool. Really cool television show jacket. So that was what, late 80s, early 90s? Was Melrose Place?
Yep, early 90s.
Like perfume kind of.
It was appointment TV for me.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, fantastic. Again, I haven't researched this, so I have no idea. I'm sure there's some comps out there somewhere between Terapeak, Worth Point, and eBay.
Sandra says, so you're saying Heather Locklear may have worn the jacket. Probably Heather Locklear's caterer. Or the cast, grip assistant or somebody like that.
Cast or crew. I'm sure the cast got jackets too. But anyway, so again, I don't know. I don't know if this same jacket went for $500 or $200.
Sandra, close enough.
But 25 bucks I paid for that jacket. So awesome deal on a bunch of really cool leather jackets because they needed to clear out some space. Then one last item. This one, as I was bringing in all the stuff that I bought, this was in the middle of a stack. She could see a little piece of it, and she said, "Ooh, what's that?" She said, "What's that?" And I said, "You hang on. You wait for show and tell." But it's kind of one of those things that, like, had I seen it in a stack of stuff that she had, I would have done the exact same thing. It's not even about the brand. It's LL Bean. Whatever. LL Bean's one of those brands. It's like
it's hit or miss. If it's good vintage, it's good vintage.
It just depends. Like there's nobody who's like, it's not like Pendleton where people are like going, "Oh man,
I gotta collect the LL Bean.
I got an LL Bean jacket, vintage. It's amazing." Like nobody's saying that about LL Bean, but it's a solid brand. And if you find good stuff, sometimes it sells for a lot. This is some good stuff. This is wool blend, a wool blend jacket. Guys, look at this magic. Look at this magic.
With the skiers.
It's got the skiers. Looks like some cross-country skiing more so than downhill, but I'll use both in my keywords.
I don't know. They're downhill.
There's a little bit. It could be both. It's got like the little mountains. It's got the deer prancing along. It's got some snowflakes and whatnot. But really, it's all about those.
It's pretty special.
It's all about those skiers. And it's hooded. But yeah, like I said, it's wool blend. It's just this ridiculously, amazingly awesome jacket. I think I can sell this. I bet this will sell on Etsy.
$225.
I bet this will sell on Etsy. $200 minimum. Just a really cool. This is the kind of thing that sells on Etsy and goes international. It's like that other one that I had that we didn't even have a brand on it that I got at Buffalo Exchange. But yeah, I think I paid like $20 for this. Just awesome.
Sweet.
Awesome. But this is probably the one you were the most jealous of.
Yeah.
Because it's just so cool. I already cleaned that up with a sweater shaver. It wasn't pilly, but it was just a little worn, and so some of the fibers were loose. You had little bits hanging off. So Anyway.
All right, so we went a whole hour and 44 minutes.
Not 3.5. So there you go.
There you go.
Anyway,
it was a long one today. We had some good stuff.
I had good stuff to share, man. Come on. Oh, I had one more thing that I forgot to show because I had it set aside. I'm gonna show it really, really quick. Maybe some of you guys. This is like the one thing I paid up for. I paid $45 for this. Other than all the stuff that I bought upstairs at yesterday's fits, this is the one thing downstairs that I saw it. I'm like, I got to get that. I paid $45 for it because I think Jesse had paid $35 for it, so he made $10 on it to hook me up. This is Vampire the Masquerade. I don't know if we have any like deep nerds out there. This particular T-shirt from 1997. I'm not even this deep of a nerd. Because this is for people who played 90s tabletop games, role-playing games.
Look, Sandra just went, oh my God. You know she's a deep nerd.
This is from like this particular T-shirt's from 97, but this is from a role-playing game that came out in like 1991 called Vampire the Masquerade, and there were all these different clans, and one of the clans was, I think that's what they call them, clans, was Nosferatu. And so it's got the really awesome Nosferatu.
It is far too deep nerdy for me.
It is not related to the Nosferatu movie from the 20s. But he looks like that. And this particular T-shirt glows in the dark, bitches. Glows in the dark. Super cool. Paid $45 for it. There are 3 listed right now on eBay for like $200 that are the same size, that are dead stock. However, guess what, nerds? They only are selling them within the U.S. Mine are going to be international, bitches. This one, I got it priced for $200. I hope to get no less than $150 for it. It does glow in the dark. I did provide a glow in the dark picture. Yes, I did. But I'm pretty excited about it. Again, paid $45 for this deep nerdage right here. I'm pretty excited about it.
Nerd.
See? Rita's excited. Sandra's excited. Yeah, it glows in the dark. Glows in the dark, Sandra. That's right. Anyway. See, Rita says she's in a clan. She knows. She knows what's up. Anyway, that's all. Sorry, I know I said the jacket was the last thing, but I had set that aside because I didn't want to show it first, and then I almost forgot it. So I'm glad.
That would be awful.
It was the most exciting thing I got there. I was really stoked to get it, and I appreciate. That's what I love that Jesse will do. Like that came in just last week, and he paid $35 for it, and he hooked me up, gave it to me for $45. So he didn't really make much money on it.
Hi, Cheryl's hubby.
Hi, Cheryl's husband. Anyway, all right, guys.
So a couple of things. If you like the show, please click on the thumbs up. We also want to thank you guys. We actually hit 9,000 subs this week, so that's pretty exciting for us.
What?
We are a slow-growing channel, and we absolutely appreciate. We have a very, very engaged audience, and we appreciate you guys. So on to 10. Also, if you are interested in purchasing any of the items that we use, please remember that we have the Amazon link down below. Every time you purchase something using that link, whether it's an item that's on that list or not, we do get a little bit of something, and we do appreciate that.
But we have all of our reseller stuff is all listed there on that Amazon page. So any of the stuff that we use, we have it listed.
Even if you shop for your groceries on Amazon, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, so Wednesday, we will be doing our Wednesday show at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is going to be, hopefully we're going to be talking about scaling up, what that can look like for your business, what are some different ways that you can scale up, because Vicki's doing it one way, I'm trying to do it another way. I think we both know who's a little bit more successful at it right now, but we're going to be talking about that on Wednesday.
Who's a little bit less stubborn?
Well, we have different methods. We have different ways that we want to do it. And okay, so we are going to be going out of town this next weekend. We're going to be in Arizona doing some serious sourcing, and so
we are going on a 3-day sourcing trip.
Yes, so
just
us. Luckily, we have Dana who's going to be staying here at the house taking care of the puppy dogs, so they are not alone. And next Sunday it is going to be the time change as well, so times are going to be all wonky, so pay attention to the boss group, and also make sure you have your alerts set if you do subscribe to us, because our show is going to be earlier that day from the hotel room. Should be fun, but we'll see you guys.
It probably won't be a 2-hour show, but it'll definitely be a highlight of a Sunday show.
Hopefully we're going to find some really cool stuff while we're there, so we'll be able to show off some awesome Arizona finds. But anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And
go enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a little snicky snacky.
We'll see you Wednesday.
A little snickety snackety.
All right. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.